I'm Connor Old, and this is Old's Oscar Countdown, and here we are. We are at the final nominations, predictions video. This is the final one, everything that's culminating to this video. I'm putting this out the day before, maybe a little bit too early, but I want to make sure I get all my right predictions in, and then I'll react to them. So I'm going to do the Oscar nominations reactions, just a base sort of first reaction, recording myself. Then I'm going to go into break and sort of analyze what will happen to the race. Then I'll start going into sort of weekly updates. I won't necessarily do certain categories, but I'll do weekly updates. Also coming in this time is the Connors, where I reveal my top 10 movies of the year, and that's sort of my own Oscar type award show. This is going to be a great week for us. I can't wait. I waited long for this video because I want to see the SAG Awards and the PGAs, particularly the winners. That somewhat affected the race, but not too much. So right now, because there's so much, I'm probably going to read a lot of this and just give some basic thoughts on why, going through all of the categories, including the shorts. So this is your number one place to find your Oscar nominations. Just follow along, put these in, you'll probably do good. At least I hope. I'm taking a lot of risks this year. Best Picture. Lady Bird. This is done very well. It's being nominated. It feels important. It has that female empowerment. The Shape of Water. They love it below the line, and Del Toro's rise as director is really making a strong, serious threat. Three Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri, winning just a lot of stuff. Just recently won SAGs. Get Out, surprising getting in with in terms of its nominations. It didn't win SAGs, which was surprising actually to me. That being said, I still think it could not get in for director, but we'll talk about that later. But still, picture strong. Dunkirk once again doing well in those technical categories, and makes PGAs and Globes, despite them being maybe Dunkirk a little divisive. It's still doing that well. The Post is very well liked, feels very important for this time. People say, oh, it didn't have anything at SAGs, but we'll wait off for that. Call Me By Your Name. This is a movie that sustained since Sundance. It's well liked by a lot of people, and I think it's going to slip. It's been slipping. Like, it didn't get a lot of SAG nominations, but it's definitely been slipping in my mind. It used to be a number 2 pick, but now it's all the way at the bottom here. I still think it's going to get in. I, Tonya is surprised because we got PGAs, WGAs, and Allison Janney's been winning at the Globe and Critics' Choice and SAG, right? So that's a big thing. The Big Six, speaking of big things, you got in PGAs, WGAs, and SAG Ensemble. This is a huge movie. It's that small summer indie that always maybe slips in. I think if there's 9 movies, it slips in for that slot. And then 10th movie I put in the Florida Project. I don't think this is going to get in because they never put in those 10 tops. But it didn't make PGA. But Willem Dafoe is still somewhat of a strong thing. And people think, oh, maybe Sean Baker. It's not that type of year, I don't think. And then changes from the original video. I changed Darkest Hour, Phantom Thread, and Wonder Woman, just because I think that Wonder Woman could get in. It did win Stunt Ensemble, but Phantom Thread doesn't have a lot of steam, and Darkest Hour is losing a lot of steam, even though I'm still predicting it for a lot of those technical categories. Okay, Best Actress. These are my final picks. Frances McDormand, Three Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri, steamrolling the competition so far. Frontrunner for sure. Sally Hawkins, The Shape of Water. Shape of Water is really well loved, and she won, I think, an LA Critics Film and some of the other critics awards. So she's still in the race. Saoirse Ronan, Lady Bird. She's been nominated twice before, and Lady Bird's a strong contender. And Margot Robbie from I, Tonya. She really saves this movie in terms of she's the big sort of standout of this movie, and it's all about her. And then my final pick, Meryl Streep, The Post. Didn't get in SAGs, but never, ever count out Meryl Streep. I didn't last year with Florence Foster Jenkins. I don't this year. And the changes from original, Jessica Chastain from Molly's Game. I still think she's an underdog because of Sorkin's sort of track record of getting his lead actors in. So she could get in, but unfortunately I don't think it's her year. Best Actor final. This one could be mixed up too, but frontrunner right now, Gary Oldman, Darkest Hour, transformative performance. Timothée Chalamet, Call Me By Your Name, the ingenue of this category, and been campaigning a lot. James Franco, The Disaster Artist, despite recent allegations, the nominations are already in before even those really sort of were brought to light. And then Daniel Day-Lewis, Phantom Thread, never count out a 3-time winner, even though Phantom Thread's not doing that well. And Daniel Kaluuya, Get Out. He's the center of the movie, and he got in at the necessary places, which was surprising to me, which is changes from the last video. This is the most I've changed, where Hugh Jackman, he's not even campaigning for the Great Showman, really. Jake Gyllenhaal, stronger. He could still get in, but mostly the number one possibility is Tom Hanks for The Post. But the thing is, they take him for granted. Tom Hanks always gets snubs. Bridge of Spies, Sully, Captain Phillips, Saving Mr. Banks. Now The Post, I think. We'll see. I hope he doesn't, because he's good in the movie. Best Supporting Actor, Sam Rockwell, 3 Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri. One of those guys who's a front runner and like sort of sweeping and winning a lot of these critics awards and industry awards. Will Dafoe, The Florida Project. He's won a lot of critics, and he's sort of the veteran actor. Richard Jenkins, The Shape of Water. Once again, they really enjoy this movie, and he's been making the cut everywhere. Now, Christopher Plummer, All the Money in the World. I think if they want to direct, sort of donate to the Times Up Fund, this is a direct sort of correlation to show their support for that by nominating Christopher Plummer, and just the incredible feat that he was able to come off. And then Woody Harrelson for 3 Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri. This is the first time I didn't think I was going to do it, but this will be the first time since 1992 for Bugsy, where 2 actors get in. I'm putting this in for 3 Billboards because they've been getting it all necessary places, and with 3 Billboards in that SAG win, it's looking really strong right now. And changes from the original, Mark Rylance from Dunkirk. I tried to force him into existence, but he didn't get in anywhere. And then Michael Stuhlbarg, I still have faith for him because if he could get in, I could see a possibility maybe where he wins, but I'm just losing my faith in Call Me By Your Name, unfortunately. Our Best Supporting Actress, Laurie Metcalf. This is a veteran actress who won a lot of critics awards, so I think she's going to get in for Lady Bird. Allison Janney for I, Tonya. She's the front runner right now because she's been winning everything, including SAGs. Holly Hunter for The Big Sick. Big Sick has been overperforming, and she's the main sort of standout star of that. And Mary J. Blige, Mudbound. She's this pop star who totally transformed. Wondering if the Netflix effect will affect her. We'll see. And then Octavia Spencer, The Shape of Water. I think she's riding the wave of the movie. Changes from the original, nothing. The only possible I could see an upset here is Hong Chow for Downsizing. Watch out for her. Okay, Best Director. Guillermo del Toro for The Shape of Water is in the lead right now in this category. It's a go-to for movies with a lot of technical love, and The Shape of Water will probably get the most nominations. Christopher Nolan, Dunkirk. I think it's a close second because he's never been nominated before, and will get a lot of technical nominations. I'll push him over the edge. He could technically be, vulnerable. All these directors are vulnerable. Greta Gerwig for Lady Bird. If they want, once again, a female director, if they want to sort of push that message, Catherine Bigelow won before, so I think she's going to get in. Martin McDonagh, 3 Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri. Got that DGA, and 3 Billboards is a serious contender. I don't think he's going to win this category, but I think he's going to get in for the nomination. And my final pick is Steven Spielberg for The Post. I'm still using my theory, which I used in the last director's video, which I'll read real quick, which is every year since last time all nominees for directors were first-time nominees was 20 years ago for the 1998 Oscars. Even last year, look at it, it was 4, and then the 5th slot went to Mel Gibson. The year before that, Alejandro Iñárritu. Before that, Bennett Miller and Alejandro Iñárritu. So the guys they like, there's always this final slot for the guys they appreciate. So there's all. Because you say Christopher Nolan should have got nominated before, but he hasn't. So it'd be all 5 if, say, someone like Jordan Peele got in. So that's why I think Steven Spielberg for The Post gets in for that final slot, and changes from original Luca Guadagnino for Call Me By Your Name, because that movie is unfortunately losing steam. Okay, next category, Best Original Screenplay. So I'm going with Lady Bird, just sweet, charming, well-constructed, well-developed characters. 3 Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri. Twisted, you never know where it's going to go. Funny, it's actually very smart and witty, and the comebacks are incredible. Get Out, the small things pay off in multiple viewings, and it's a tightly wrought thriller. The Shape of Water. It's been getting nominations everywhere, and Guillermo del Toro, even in his acceptance speech for, I think, the Critics Awards, talks about his co-writer, Vanessa Taylor, giving a little more prominence to that screenplay. And then my final pick, which can be anything right now, could be any of these, but I went with The Big Sick because it seems to just make sense to me, that small summer indie movie that sort of slips in there. But you also have I, Tonya, which is relevant on top of people's minds, and The Post, 2 well-written movies, especially from The Post is Josh Singer, and I actually changed that from the video, Josh Singer, because he actually won for Spotlight and doing another journalism movie. He could get in for The Post, but I'm still The Big Sick for my final slot there. Best Adapted Screenplay, same sort of thing where the first 4 are pretty locks. Call Me By Your Name, even though it's slipping, it's the strong category to win because it's really the only Best Picture nominee. Molly's Game, it's got that signature sharp Sorkin dialogue. The Disaster Artist, very funny. Mudbound, once again, could get that Netflix factor, but I still think a weak category, it's going to get in. And then Logan. I said in my last video that I'll go to a superhero movie. Logan got a WGA nomination. I'm going to Logan, even though Wonder Woman got a PGA nomination. It could split and maybe give something like All the Money in the World or Wonder, but I think Logan's got this one. I think that's a well-respected, sort of dramatic, a well-written movie. Okay, and then change from the video, I've changed Wonder Woman, but that was sort of a pick there. So Logan's my final pick there. So cinematography, Roger Deakins, Blade Runner 2049. I hope he wins this because he's been nominated 13 times before. It would be a Lifetime Achievement Award, and Blade Runner 2049 looks gorgeous and doing well in all these technical categories. Even Villeneuve got a BAFTA nomination for director. Hoyt van Hoytema for Dunkirk. It's all about that cinematic experience, and the cinematography with the IMAX cameras is all what it's about. Dan Laustsen, The Shape of Water. People really love this movie, and it's very beautiful and used with colors. Rachel Morrison, Mudbound. This would be the first female nominee in the cinematography category, which I think is a milestone. I think has been sort of projecting enough that people are going to notice it and nominate it. Bruno Del Bonell, Darkest Hour. Recently, Darkest Hour has been struggling, but I still think he's a well-respected person. He even got nominated for a Harry Potter movie, so I'm going to put him in there. And Change from Video and Nothing. Okay, Best Animated, I went Coco, won at the Globes. It's a strong front runner. The Breadwinner, this is the G-Kids, and if you know about G-Kids, they always get 1 or 2 nominations every single year consistently. So this is the G-Kids nominee, so Breadwinner, I think it's almost a lock. Same with Coco. Loving Vincent has a unique visual style. They get sort of an art house appeal. That will get in. And these two are totally malleable. Some people are saying Lego Batman, some people are saying Ferdinand. First one I'm saying Mary and the Witch's Flower. When Marnie was there, got nominated, and this is the same director from When Marnie was there. Also a G-Kids nomination, but I think Mary and the Witch's Flower gets in there. Depends on how many people have seen it. And then the final one is Boss Baby. Did very well at the Annies, and I sort of put this one because it was a box office success, and I'm not convinced of something like Lego Batman or Ferdinand or Captain Underpants, all which I changed from my original video. Because remember, Lego Batman, Lego movie didn't get nominated. I think people are going to be surprised and see, you know, oh, Lego Batman gets snubbed, like the Lego movie, they hate Lego. I think that's going to be sort of the narrative of this year. Best Documentary, Jane, but a person who has a previous Oscar nomination and a well-respected documentarian. Icarus, even more relevant with the whole thing of Russia being banned from the Olympics recently. City of Ghosts, this is the guy who did Cartel Land, so they like this guy. And Syrian refugees is still sort of a hot topic. People think Last Men in Aleppo, another Syrian refugee movie, will get in. I do not. So, Jane, Icarus, City of Ghosts, Faces Places, this is sort of the charming one of it, and Agnes Varda, it directs it, who got an honorary Oscar just last year. And then Strong Island, this is on Netflix, but it's a unique spin on the true crime genre where the documentarian is actually looking at a case of his brother. So it's a unique aspect of that. And then Change from My Video, Nothing. I just sort of felt a strong connection to those, and I'm going to keep those. Okay, production design, I'm going The Shape of Water. I think this is a strong front right now because of how it's PGA's awarded, because it used such a small budget to make it seem like such a big movie, and the production design can tell that. Blade Runner 2049, sort of a really gorgeous minimalistic use, sort of familiar future of the 2019 Blade Runner future. Very interesting. Dunkirk, of course, this is going to get a lot of nominations in the technical categories. Darkest Hour, sort of the Parliament building and all that stuff. And then I went with The Post to sort of just create a great production design for such little time and make it released. And I changed from the video Beauty and the Beast because I just don't think it could get in for production design. I just think that it's so CGI, maybe they'll be against it. Okay, now let's move over into the rest of my picks. First being costume. Okay, costume design. I have Phantom Thread. It's about a costume designer, beautiful costumes. Beauty and the Beast, live action Disney normally gets nominated, something like Cinderella. Greatest Showman, extravagant, colorful circus, lots of costumes, that always gets nominated. The Shape of Water, period piece, and getting a lot of these nominations, surprisingly, for costume design. I could see that possibly changing, but it's just been getting all the beats. And then Murder on the Orient Express for the breadth of the costumes in terms of they have so many costumes. So once again, Phantom Thread, Beauty and the Beast, The Greatest Showman, The Shape of Water, and Murder on the Orient Express for costume design. I changed from the video Darkest Hour because it's the same costume designer as Beauty and the Beast. Best makeup and hairstyling, I'm going with Darkest Hour, Guardians of the Galaxy, and I, Tonya. Darkest Hour because of that Oldman makeup. Guardians of the Galaxy because of it's a superhero movie always normally gets in here. And I, Tonya because it's sort of the contemporary makeup. And then changed from video, I went The Shape of Water because I didn't even get nominated past the shortlist. Best score, I went with The Shape of Water because Alejandro Desplat won the Globes and he's a well-respected composer. Dunkirk, Hans Zimmer, another well-respected composer. Phantom Thread, John Greenwood. This is a standout sort of Jackie score this year. An odd, sort of weird thing, less traditional, but Jackie got in that last year, so I think this one can get in this year. The Post, John Williams always get in, and I think The Post is an Oscar contender. And then the last one is Victoria and Abdul. This is actually from Thomas Newman, and Thomas Newman got nominated for Passengers last year, so don't bet against Thomas Newman. Changed from the video, I changed 3 billboards, which I still could get in, because Cara Burwell did get in for Carol, but only one time, so I sort of took that out. But 3 billboards is starting its sort of roll. Watch out. Okay, best song. Remember Me, Coco, Pixar always does well in the song categories, and this is so central to the movie. This Is Me is my next pick from Greatest Showman. It's got great word of mouth and actually won at the Globes. Then I'm going with The Mystery of Love by Call Me By Your Name. The only Best Picture nominee here, so I went with that. It could be left out because Visions of Gideon is battling with it, so maybe everyone's sort of locked on Mystery of Love. Maybe it's Visions of Gideon. Maybe they cancel each other out. We'll see. Evermore, Beauty and the Beats. This is from well-respected songwriter Alan Menken, who writes this new song. So I think in a huge musical, I'd be surprised if it doesn't get in. And my final wildcard pick is I Don't Want to Live Forever from 50 Shades Darker, because the new movie is coming out. It's a big pop song, Taylor Swift. I think they're going to nominate for those stars. Changed from the video, nothing. So Best Sound Editing and Sound Mixing, they're actually the same nominations, so I'm just going to group them into one category. So I'm going with Dunkirk. There's loud moments, but also the silent moments. I'm going with The Shape of Water. They love this movie, and the sound of the creatures amplified only by this mute protagonist. Star Wars The Last Jedi, this new sounds of all these creatures. Baby Driver, all about the music and the editing and how that works into the story. And then Blade Runner 2049, this eerie sort of creative type and new futuristic sounds. Changed from the video, nothing. Watch out for something like a Wonder Woman in terms of sound editing and A Greatest Showman in terms of sound mixing. I just decided to get the same and put them because there is a lot of crossover between the two. Best Film Editing, we have Dunkirk, which is the great use of land, sea, and air, and just intercutting between them. It won a Critics' Choice as well. The Shape of Water is a seamless editing, and the movie is a frontrunner. Three Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri, the sharp, sort of unexpected frontrunner for Best Picture. Baby Driver, it's all about its editing and its whole style. It's all about the quick editing and the music and matching everything. It's very editing focused and flashy. And my final pick, I, Tonya, wildcard pick just because of how well it's doing. I changed from the video. I think I said Lady Bird, but Lady Bird just has been disappointing. Even Laurie Metcalf. Unfortunately, Lady Bird is still disappointing across the board. Okay, Best Foreign Film. I haven't changed anything from the video, and I just went The Square because it's the Palme d'Or winner. Faces, Places. Because Agnes Varda, hold on, one sec, excuse me. Did I just not do this? I'm thinking like, I just thought hold on, I'll be back in. Yeah, sorry, I thought I just got lost up because documentary and Faces, Places could get 2 nominations for foreign film and documentary. So Faces, Places got that honorary award. It's a charming documentary. A Fantastic Woman, this sort of transformative performance by Danielle Vega. Loveless is the same guy who almost won for Leviathan a few years ago. And In the Fane won the Globes and Diane Kruger, so it's got a lot of that attention. It didn't change anything for the video. Okay, now the final stretch here. Best Visual Effects. I went with War for the Planet of the Apes, this incredible motion capture movie that ended this great trilogy. Star Wars The Last Jedi. Rogue One got in for terrible CGI, so I think it's gonna get, Star Wars is going to get in here. Later on 2049, that immersive world and the cool new tech. And these final 2 picks are surprising. Okja, because of this giant bear, could be affected by the Netflix factor. I just went sort of a surprise there. And then Kong Skull Island. I've been saying this since day one, and when it got a lot of those nominations at the VESA Awards, it confirmed my suspicion. I think Kong Skull Island is going to get in, actually. And I changed from the video Shape of Water, because I think it's going to slip somewhere. And then Dunkirk, there's a possibility, but it's a contemporary film, so that could get in. I just don't see the visual effects of Dunkirk. Best Live Action. Now the shorts, I'm not going to have any reasons. I'm just going to list them off. So let's go with Best Live Action Short, DeKalb Elementary, The Silent Child, All of Us, The 11 O'Clock, Icebox. Best Documentary Short, Alone, Heroine, with the brackets over the E, 10 Meter Tower, 116 cameras, Heaven is a Traffic Jam on the 405, LA title, I just picked that. Best Animated Short, In a Heartbeat. I think this one's going to win, so I mean, if I don't think Best Animated Short, In a Heartbeat is a lock. Lou, Pixar, Dear Basketball, Kobe Bryant, Cradle. I watch these all, by the way. Cradle. Iraq type, Negative Space, unique Wes Anderson style. So In a Heartbeat, Lou, Dear Basketball, Cradle, Negative Space. Those are final nominations. Sorry for sort of a quick video. Maybe you guys want a little more in-depth. I didn't have the time because I wanted to get this video up, and it would have been way too long a video to condense. But those are my final Oscar nominations. Put them in. I hope I do good. So I'll be doing just a reminder, Oscar nominations reactions, then I'll be doing an analysis video, and then the Connors are going to be coming out, where that's sort of my top 10, my Oscars, my personal picks of the year, and I'll start going to weekly updates until the Oscars of things that are going to change the race, and sort of thoughts of, hey, maybe this could, maybe this could for all the categories. So stay tuned for that. It's going to be a great month. I can't believe we're finally here. I can't wait to see what they are. I hope I get them right, like I do every year. I'm Connor Roll. Like the video, share with your friends. Just give you those last minute Oscar predictions. Tell them, share this video to just get them in before tomorrow morning, and maybe just check back and see, hey, was I right? I'll update the description and with my predictions and my sort of percentages at the end. But anyways, guys, I'm Connor Old, and until next time, stay tuned.